By the way, I'm not a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form. I've had the opportunity to have him on my show more than once. I've said no every time. I don't want to help him. I'm not interested in helping him.
The night is still young. We'll see.
If I have him on, the night is still young?
Yeah.
You think I'll have him on?
I think you'll have him on.
Really? Yeah. Why do you think that? Because you'll have Putin on?
And you're competitive as fuck. No. I think ultimately, I mean, you've had a lot of people that I think you may otherwise be skeptical. Would I have a good conversation? Which I think is your metric. You don't care about politics, so can I have a good conversation? And I think you had like people like Kanye on, for example, and you had a great conversation with him. I think but
Kanye is an artist. But Kanye doing well or not doing well doesn't change the course of our country.
Yeah, but do you really bear the responsibility of the course of our country based on a conversation?
I think you can revitalize and rehabilitate someone's image.
Oh, wow. I have some more big news, Megan. I'm just getting this right now. So somebody that's very, very respected asked me to do his show 2 weeks ago, and I said, why not? And to me, it's very big because he's the biggest there is, I guess, in that world by far. Somebody said the biggest beyond anybody in a long time. And his name is Joe Rogan, and he's never done this before. And it just came over the wires that Joe Rogan just endorsed me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe.
That's crazy. That's a huge victory.
That's so nice. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that stuff. And he tends to be a little bit more liberal than some of the people in this room. No, I had a lot of fun, and he was amazing. And it was a 3-hour interview. In fact, I was 2 hours late for a rally that we had. I had explained that a little bit. And it was cold out that night. We flew, but we had to make it. We were more than 2 hours late. And they understood. I said, I just was interviewed by a very interesting guy, and he just kept going on. They called it a long form, and it could have gone a lot longer, but he was great. And he's not a person that does endorsements, but he did an endorsement. So I just want to thank Joe Rogan. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy now, bro. It's just, and then people try to call him a misogynist behind this. That's what makes it so crazy to me, y'all. Like,
we knew he was gonna do it.
I knew it was gonna come because Joe Rogan is a person that doesn't argue with logic, and he thinks outside the box. And he's right. He's normally liberal leaning because he's very accepting of outside ideas and other things. So the fact that even he, as a liberal who accepts outside ideas and things like that, has said the left is too far gone that I don't even recognize it, and I don't even know if I identify with myself. It was only a matter of time.
You know what?
It was only a matter of time. Like, the man has a daughter and believes in men and women and two genders and things of that nature. So it was only a matter of time.
Besides Elon, is this the most powerful endorsement of the election? Probably
100%.
I don't think so.
This is the biggest podcast in the world.
It is, but I don't think it's that.
This is the biggest podcast in the world.
You saying it's not as big as Elon, or you saying it's top two?
I don't think it's as big as Elon.
I think this is bigger than Elon.
I want to say top two.
I think this is bigger than Elon.
Who's second?
I think this is bigger than Elon, personally, because a lot of people don't like Elon.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
a
lot of people go with the media narratives and stuff, and people hate Elon for that reason. So Joe Rogan being a neutral source and has the biggest podcast audience, he's the best podcaster. He really invented podcasting to what it is. So the fact that him being the biggest podcaster in the world with the biggest podcast audience in the world, making this endorsement is the biggest.
You know what I think really happened when made this endorsement? I think when he was finna have that interview with Kamala.
You gotta stop though. Who's bigger than these two?
Who's bigger than Joe Rogan?
Who's bigger than?
I'm talking about that endorsed Kamala or Trump.
Who
Single
endorsed-
person, not
single
who's
person.
bigger?
not Teamsters and
You said bigger person.
yes,
Who's bigger?
Yes.
That endorsed you out of.
Okay,
Yes.
don't say
That-
Beyonce. Okay,
Yes.
but I'm talking about that
I-
actually means something though.
No, name. I want to know.
Well, they could say that's the same thing. He's a talent.
So you said Beyonce.
You could say Beyonce,
See,
Lady
but-
Gaga.
see, but you gotta realize
could
he didn't
say
get paid for
Taylor
this.
It's
Swift.
different
He didn't
though,
get
bro.
paid.
You said that's different. That's
They,
about to say.
all of them got paid.
Those are entertainers. He's having a conversation, intellectual conversation.
Well, they could technically say he a talent just like the entertainers.
But
you know?
he had 3 hour,
I'm just
multiple
saying.
hours long conversations. He had a 4 hour long conversation with JD. He had a 3 hour long conversation with Trump. 3 hours with Elon.
No, I understand
And then
that. I
after
understand
those
that.
conversations, he came
No, I
out
know
with
you
the
understand.
endorsement. That's a powerful
But-
endorsement. Rather than people who have voted down the line Democrat and Democrats having money to pay for endorsements, and it's known that they've paid other powerful people for endorsements, rather than someone who sat down with hours long conversations, authentic conversations, recorded it, put it out for people to watch, and then dropped an
and
endorsement.
then
Yeah.
she didn't pop up to the podcast.
Yeah, no, she wanted
know
him.
why she didn't,
she
though?
wanted him to come to her. And he said, "You got to come to me."
No, I don't even think it's that. I think
That's what
she
it
was
was.
not let. She's not gonna let him speak freely. That's
Oh,
why I really think
100%.
under the door, like he couldn't ask her anything.
No, because Joe Rogan's gonna prod.
Yeah,
he's gonna prod. He prodded with Trump. He prodded with Elon. He prodded with JD.
My rebuttal to the Beyonce thing is it's a difference between entertainment and then if your entertainment is having a conversation. If you're having a conversation, then you have to have some type of intellectual
And
like
let me tell you,
for people to watch
Let me
you.
tell you, like, this is why I said Beyonce. Her fan base made a religion behind her.
That's true.
And they're like, come on, my brother. They made
Yeah.
a religion behind this woman.
Well, yeah, maybe okay. Maybe I'm looking at it in my perspective.
Yeah,
then.
I understand. Like,
So Oprah could be on the same.
No, I think Beyonce and Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift, their fan base is so strong. They got it, bro. Think about this. Taylor Swift have a class on some major universities about Taylor Swift. Think about that.
That is true. Okay,
We got really.
that
I'm
is true.
I'm
Okay.
looking at like everything. Like I ain't never seen a class about Joe Rogan. You know what I'm
Hold
saying
on,
on
though.
campus, and I like Joe Rogan.
You know they was comparing that stat with Joe Rogan's podcast versus Kamala. Well, who did Kamala get on?
She got on.
Shay Shay.
She got on
Oh, that's
Club
what
Shay
they-
Shay.
that's
That
what-
flopped. She
Hold on,
got
though.
on.
Is that the one they compared to the Joe Rogan one though?
That's the one. Yeah, he said that's what Shannon thought it was gonna be that big. I don't know. He's delusional.
That's what he thought.
Oh hell yeah, he said that. He said it's gonna be like Trump on Rogan. That's what he said. And I will say, I think Shannon Sharp has one of the best podcasts.
He does,
out.
he does.
But the fact that he thought that,
He's crazy.
is crazy.
But that shows you the intellectual conversation.
I just
that
think
they had, though.
I just think it's different.
this
I just think the capacity is different because Joe Rogan comes in and he just talks with his guests. It's back and forth. It's raw. They don't have anything written down. And Shannon comes in prepared with loaded questions. So the fact that I know that she's done interviews where she's given the interviewer the questions. I mean, I didn't watch the interview with her and him, so I don't know if this is true.
We
But
know that shit was
is,
ass.
is it wrong for me to speculate that she could have given him questions beforehand? I mean, it does more for him.
We know her at this point.
I mean, yeah, man.
We watched so many videos,
It does
it's
more
hard.
for him and growing his audience to have her on. Because I mean, Joe Rogan,
He put Kamala
as I said
ads.
before, Joe Rogan is the biggest podcast in the world and has been for almost 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Joe Rogan said nigga on his podcast and didn't get canceled.
hey, man, you know, hey, whatever. But
It was out of context. He was quoting something.
But hold on, though. Last thing I'm gonna say: the reason why I think this endorsement is bigger than those endorsements because he also didn't want to endorse either candidate at first.
No,
and
that's
had
true.
a conversation with them. Oprah, we know why Oprah and the people on the Diddy list came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Cardi B came out there on the phone. None of the endorsements was genuine. He had a conversation, and that's when I feel like he genuinely decided at that point maybe not be a bad guy. And Kamala didn't come on. That's kind of a jackass move. And then she goes on Call Your Daddy. Oh, that's what they were comparing.
Call
it to.
her daddy.
Call her daddy. That's what I was hearing.
That
people.
didn't even touch 1 million views and it has more dislikes than likes.
I bet JD's interview probably has more.
Oh, JD's interview has way more. JD's interview did 1 million in less than a day.
It's
It
because
did 2 million in less than a day.
it just shows them really
I'll tell you
being
the exact
bro.
number. I'll tell you the exact numbers right now while we're recording.
Why can we never just see Kamala talk freely? That is the problem I've literally had.
789K in a month, 4 weeks.
Do people just accept fakeness over realness?
Hey, man. And the thing is, one more thing, bro. I know we rank guys. But the Elon situation, why people are saying that he might be a little
Shannon
bit more.
Sharp, Kamala, 1 mil, 8 days.
Bro, Elon was a Democrat, though. So his endorsement is the same as Joe Rogan's, bro. They were both Democrats.
Joe Rogan, Trump, 45 mil, 10 days.
No, y'all heard what they said, bro. I saw some.
Joe Rogan, JD, 14 mil, 5 days.
I saw some on NBC.
Damn.
They said something so crazy. They said if Kamala wins, they should have the right to take all the rockets and stuff from Elon Musk because he supported Donald Trump.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Elon got 8 mil in 19 hours and another 30 on Twitter.
I'm scared, man. I'm scared of the Democrats. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the podcast. Let's see what they said. He did it on the Elon Musk. Y'all see his tweet. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump.
Look, another 30 mil on Twitter. So, I mean, if we add the Twitter views, that's another couple 20 mil for each of them.
Kamala could have did more views than any Fox, any mainstream.
Boy, her going on Joe Rogan would have done more for her campaign than any interview she could have done.
Yeah, and she didn't do it. So.
She did all the mainstream media interviews and the 60 Minutes. You see Trump and them sue 60 Minutes because they edited the clip for her. And that reporter, he bust her ass. That was my favorite one she did because he bust her ass. That one, it was, what was the other one she did that she got busted up in? It was, damn.
Maybe we'll record it later, but her knocking on that door. It's like, bro, are
she
you
was
a
going
YouTuber?
She was going door
Like,
knocking.
why
in
are you
Pennsylvania.
editing stuff, bro? You're not a YouTuber.
Well, she kind of is. She got to portray somebody image.
Well, we need to see you live, like Donald Trump.
They don't realize our age is the IRL age.
Well, I'll say it again, man. I think this is the last election. If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think people, and a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath.
Yeah, exactly.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left wing and they realize, like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's nuts.
It's nuts, man. And if the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere will be like California. There will be no escape.
That is so insane.
This is the final. This is it. This is the last chance.
Has anybody tried
And
to
I
push
just want to
back?
go out and vote.
Please.
Vote like your life depends on it. Vote like your future depends on it, because it does. This is the last chance, man.
This is what we're hoping for with this election. This is what we're hoping for with the future, is that people can see we are on a bad path and something can be done right now. And it might be the only moment in history where this is possible, because if they do lock the country down and make it so that voting is kind of bullshit, you're only voting for primaries,
Exactly.
and the people that they put in the primaries, they're controlling that in the first place.
Yep.
You don't really have democracy anymore. You don't really have choice.
Exactly.
You don't really have freedom.
That's right. Yeah, I think freedom is fundamentally at stake in the election tomorrow, and we'll know. I think we'll know by the end of the day tomorrow. I don't think it's going to take. It's not going to be like days after the election. I think we'll know tomorrow.
Are you optimistic?
I'm currently optimistic, but the biggest factor here is that men need to vote. That is the biggest issue. So I don't know what the reason is, but men just vote at a much lower rate than women.
I think it's like 9%, right? Someone just told me that today.
It's a big difference. I'm just like saying, this is a message to the men out there: vote like your life depends on it, because I think it does. Vote.
Wow.
Vote tomorrow like your life depends on it. Nothing is more important.
I agree.
You know what he mean by that?
Oh, right.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about
no,
war.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes,
war.
but yes,
I'm
but
talking
yes.
about war.
No, he's right.
Yes, you're right. But I think it's deeper than that. I mean, like, the future of America.
Hey, but that's the deepest it gets.
That's why it's sad. It's bro. It hurts
He's
my
not
heart,
lying, man.
bro.
And that is gonna affect him a lot. You was right. Everything gonna be like California. His rockets ain't gonna be able to fly. They gonna make America so woke. It's gonna be ridiculous, guys. If Kamala could beat Donald Trump with the support Donald Trump has, bro, it's gonna be bad.
You know what kind of scares me, bro?
Yeah, you know what?
It's just crazy that, like, who is technically running the Democratic Party right now? Like, we
Yeah,
really
that's a good
technically
question.
we don't
But
know.
also think about this though, bro. I was thinking, like, maybe say if Trump did lose, okay, maybe we get another guy that won't, do the comedy thing that Trump does and make the liberals mad. But then no, I can't say that because they've already called Vivek Ramaswamy a Nazi. So if they gonna call Vivek a Nazi, every Republican and ever's going to be is going to be a Nazi.
Yeah, you know, the rhetoric that they use, the labels that they push, the agenda, it's very divisive. It's insulting. It almost villainizes people for thinking different. And then they played the dumb card. Well, how did we get to this point? It's their fault.
Do you seriously
it's
think
not. It's completely ridiculous.
Do you seriously think Kamala's rhetoric's been stronger than Trump's rhetoric? Yeah.
Fascist, racist, Nazi.
Racist, Nazi, dictator, Hitler.
It's so bad.
It gets deeper, bro.
We get called something for just thinking different.
Oh yeah,
that's how bad it is.
It's ridiculous to me that people will look at what we do and say or the titles of the videos we put out on face value, and then call us sellouts and coons and all these things. But rather than listen or watch the video and listen to the conversation that we have, where we dive into the material we're watching and break it down from our perspective, and really see that we're not playing around. Like this is real talk we're talking about here. I mean, we're all college educated. We can process information and make our own inferences and decisions based on what we're watching. And I think if you watch the videos and you're a real authentic viewer, you can see that. And I think people
see where we got the conclusion at.
Facts. And I think people who really watch our videos and really walk with us and pay attention and take the time to listen, understand that. So that's why when people come and insult us and play dumb and do all this shit, I mean, it kind of irritates me a little bit because it's like you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, guys, we're not biased in any way.
I mean, we're biased, obviously. We've chosen a side based on the information we've taken in.
If Kamala says something and then we'll be like, did she really say that? So we're gonna double check. It's not like we're just believing in it. Like, oh, Michelle got the dick. We just believe in everything. No, bro, we go through the steps to figure out.
You want to know something?
What's right?
I want to know. You want to know something? The fact that we don't all agree on things and we can sit here and argue and really get into a heated debate and go back and forth on things, that should let you know that this is not a fucking joke. We're not playing around. Like the same way we are on camera, we are off camera. Like literally, it's just us rolling and putting the footage on YouTube. That's really what it is.
Somebody killed your squirrel.
Yeah, John Wick.
Yeah. The fucking squirrel thing is bananas.
Yeah.
That squirrel thing in New York?
Thing, so here's the thing about the whole squirrel thing is that how can it be that we live in America, supposedly land of the free, and the government can barge into your home with guns, so if you resist, you're going to get shot, and then take your pets and execute them. And if they can do that to your pets, what do you think they can do to you?
I know that's not an exaggeration.
Absolutely.
It sounds like you're oh, that's so crazy. How can you make that connection? But why would you kill that cute little squirrel that was obviously a pet and trained from the time it was a baby?
Yes.
If you see the interaction that guy has with that squirrel, it was wonderful. It was really cute.
Yes, absolutely. It was just obviously it was a beloved pet squirrel, and a raccoon too, and doing no harm, and the government comes in, barges into the guy's house, takes his pets and kills them, and I think this should really get people out there mobilized.
Fucked up, and they shouldn't have killed that squirrel.
They shouldn't have killed that squirrel.
Nut.
I mean, it's like how many cases have we not heard about?
Oh, look at that little guy. And that squirrel clearly had a love relationship with that guy.
No,
he would
he really
hop
did. Did you
all
see the
over him
videos?
and climb on him. I mean, it was that was his
awesome.
pet. That squirrel thought of
Kinda
that
hurt.
man as his protector, as his companion. you
Yes.
know?
Wow.
There was nothing wrong with that. And in Texas, it's totally legal. You could have a fucking zebra out here. You could have whatever you want.
For real?
And that's the argument for freedom.
So you telling me
I don't think you can domesticate them.
What, a zebra?
Can you?
they have like a hunting ground for them out here?
Zebras?
Was Tiger King? What he doing?
That was in Oklahoma.
Was that legal?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
It's not legal to have tigers?
No, they're in danger.
You can't make a zoo, bro. You got the legal documents.
If you got the legal documents, it takes hundreds
Tiger
of thousands
King
of dollars.
It had to be legal.
No, his zoo is completely illegal.
It's so many people that had the zoos. What was the dude that had all the women with the tigers? What was his name?
Tiger King.
No, it wasn't Tiger King. Tiger King was the one that was in
And
Oklahoma.
it's not legal to own a tiger in Oklahoma. Only Alabama, Delaware, Nevada, North Carolina, South Carolina, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
Damn, I want to own a baby tiger.
I told you can't own a tiger. That's why in the video that woman was trying to get him shut down.
Tiger King was one of the best documentaries I've ever watched.
Hold on, so can I own a chimpanzee?
You can own a monkey. You
And
can't own a chimpanzee.
Nah,
you can own a zebra in Texas.
R.I.P. Peanut Man. But on a
What?
serious note,
Oh,
though,
you need a license.
did they? Is that like actually confirmed that the Democrats killed the squirrel?
Yeah, they killed it. They got a warrant, seized it, and euthanized it.
Why they
Broke in his house, seized it, and euthanized it.
Why
A
they-
squirrel.
Why they had a warrant though for?
Because you can't have those in New York.
So it's confirmed
No,
that.
you can't own a chimpanzee.
Bro, hold on, though, bro.
So
Oh, you can. You need a certificate.
Hold on, though, bro. On a serious note, though, the left killed the squirrel.
Yes, the Democrats in New York got a warrant and seized it and killed his squirrel.
Why?
Bro, Tim Pool's mom told us it was illegal to have more than one dog in Chicago, or they'll come and euthanize your dog, or they'll come take it. So I mean, if you can't have more than one dog, you think they're gonna let you have a squirrel?
You can't have more
But
than
like,
one
was
dog.
that the state?
The state did it, yes.
Okay.
Why the hell you can't have more than one dog?
I don't know.
That's like saying
population problems.
If that's the problem, that means they could say you can't have more than one kid.
I mean,
if you thinking that
Two dogs in New York is pretty criminal.
I understand.
I mean, I'm just saying that's how they living. You know, I mean, it shouldn't be, but
I don't know, bro.
you got two dogs upstairs in my apartment. I'm gonna be pissed off. The shit they letting the illegals in. You know. Hey, next clip, man.
If it wasn't for you buying that and changing Twitter, I don't think we would be where we're at right now. I think that it was a pivotal moment. I think historically, when people look back on it, it's going to be a pivotal moment in this very bizarre fight for the freedom of information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the time I said, I think this is existential to the United States. It's existential to democracy, because if you don't have freedom of speech, you don't have democracy. Okay, because if you don't have freedom of speech, people cannot make an informed vote.
Facts.
If they're just being fed propaganda, and there's no freedom of speech, democracy is an illusion.
That's a fact.
So, freedom of speech is the bedrock of democracy. That's why freedom of speech is the First Amendment. Once you lose freedom of speech, you lose democracy. Game over. That's why I bought Twitter.
I mean, if you don't have freedom of speech, you can't freely criticize and freely give information because they can just police it. And if they can police it, you're going to be fed propaganda. And if you're being fed propaganda, you're just going to fall in line with what you've been programmed to think, and you're not truly free. You're a robot. And you're just falling in line with the machine. And that's scary to think, you know.
Dude, this
is
is
the
a
freest
scary
country.
election, man.
This is the freest country in the world, and all of our freedoms are at risk. And the one man who's the candidate that's actually trying to defend all of our rights,
He's a threat.
is the one they're calling a threat to democracy. I mean,
Wow.
We've heard that the candidates, we've heard Tim Walz and Hillary and Kamala all say, what is free speech? There's no guarantee to free speech, all because people say stuff that hurts people's feelings. But I mean, free speech is not freedom of consequence. You're freely to say whatever you want, but you got to deal with the consequences of it. And that's just what it is. I mean, if I come and call him a bitch and he punched me in my shit, that's the consequences of that. And that's just what it is, bro. And we all live in that reality, and the fact that that's being threatened because people's feeling, we want to put feelings over facts, and people are living in a rainbow fantasy land. I'm just not with that, man.
Even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms. Now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
So you're trying to take this man business because he supports Donald Trump. Y'all sound so like y'all say threat to democracy, and this is literally a threat to democracy.
Yeah, I mean, but they might have did it anyway, though. But I mean, with their woke policies, they probably, I don't know what they want to do with the
So they
SpaceX.
trying to take, like, what do these people want?
Who knows?
It's a threat. He's gonna stop us from. So hold on, let's think about it. Trump was just trying to stop people. Well, they try to say he stopped them for having abortions, right? So because a man supported candidate, he should lose his business now. Don't that sound crazy?
And that is a threat.
That's literally a threat.
It's ridiculous that these mainstream propagandists, Anderson Cooper called these garbage network out. They called him out and said, "Well, this isn't MSNBC. We're CNN."
What that mean?
What you mean by that?
Take those American flags down from the back of these mainstream media companies. They put the White House in the back to make it look like they somebody and they represent something, man. Y'all don't represent America, man.
They're part of the machine that Elon and them are exposing and taking down. And that's why he's such a threat to their agenda, because now on his platform, you can freely find news and alternative sources to what's being fed on the news. And a lot of people try to say you're an intellectual if you just believe stuff, but I just don't think it's an intellectual thing to believe everything that's spoon-fed to you at face value. I just don't think that's an intellectual thing. And in school, you're taught to do your own research. So if I'm supposed to do research to come to conclusions and draw conclusions, I mean, why would I take the first thing that's fed to me? I mean, you're taught in school and graduate school at that to not do that. So to say that you're just more intellectual because you believe what's spoon-fed to you on TV is nonsense. I actually think you're smarter if you question it.
I met a German guy. He said that from what he knows, Americans are pretty dumb.
On the global scale, we're way dumber than
y'all
Europeans.
watching. Y'all not dumb. I don't think we dumb. We know who we voting for, guys. And let's see, man. I mean, it's a countdown. I think Trump got in the bag. Who knows? Kind of nervous. But I think this Joe Rogan endorsement is pretty huge. I don't know if it changed votes. Maybe you should have did it a week ago. Everybody pretty much already voted, though, guys. Hopefully y'all vote to get out to the polls, guys. Let's see what happens.